Well met, lords and ladies, Jacob Bowder speaking, and welcome back to another episode of... Oh, my apologies, that was hech.mp4. My mistake. Here is the real intro. I hope people know that the more stuff that I collect while doing these streams, the more I'm just going to be able to just use randomly whatever I want. Like, I still have this on here from the time that I compared one of the Pops lineups with Handsome Squidward. I just haven't used it yet, so it's there. It's there. I can pull it out somewhere. I don't know. We shall see. Anyways, hello to Josh, hello to Ghost Kitty, and let me just check. No, it wasn't Jax who messaged me. Surprising, because I've obviously, once again, a few minutes ago, Jax, of course, asked me, hey, am I going to react to Kidnapped by Giants today? Even though I literally said I would 2 days ago, and then also yesterday when he asked me for confirmation. So, yeah, I thought he'd be here. Then again, did I tell him I was going to do this today? No, he's had enough warning. so there you go. If he misses it, that's on him at this point. He's going to message me soon anyway. I'm sure that he'll DM me asking to join the stream. You know, it's should be fine. Okay. Actually, hold on a second. Because the one person who did message me might actually send out an actual invitation that was unsolicited by the person this time, which is a first. But then again, I also have to make sure that it's not a paired thing, because for some reason this one, it wanted to go into the paired channel version of the intro, which I really don't know why it did that time, but it did. So, oh, never mind. Never mind. In class. Okay, we're gonna start. So today we've got 3 videos. Now, normally when I do Gacha review nowadays, I tend to restrict myself to 1 or 2, just because depending on which guests I have and stuff, it can get a little bit crazy when there's, more than 2. But that being said, one of them is literally 48 seconds long, so I think we can risk it this time. That being said, Kidnapped by Giants. Part 4, not episode 4, part 4. I keep mistitling it. Okay. Without further ado, on with the review. Wake up! I mean, I've heard of someone crying themselves to sleep, but I've never heard someone crying while asleep with their mouth hanging open. I just think I've never thought that I would experience. Anyways, what happened? I think you had a very bad, scary nightmare. It's so scary that we'll continue to, hold on here with our gaping mouths for ages. Why not? Let's just do that, shall we? What? It's okay. I think he's confused about the concept of a nightmare for some reason. I don't know why, but he seems like, what? I had a nightmare? Really? Meanwhile, Bex is like, shh, it's okay, it's okay. There. It's like, I literally don't remember what happened just now. It's all right. Let's go to the park, shall we? You had a nightmare on the floor. Let's head out immediately outside. The end, probably part 5, Mabe. What? That was it. That was part 4. I mean, I know I'm supposed to give my like thoughts and viewpoints on part 4 and everything, but what am I supposed to do with that? Like, what can I say? I'm just gonna move on, honestly. There's like, huh? He maybe had a nightmare. Unconfirmed. Let's go to the park, shall we? New episode. Hello, Gacha Spring Boy. Believe it or not, even though we're only 7 minutes in, I just finished the first video on this stream set for today. Don't worry, you literally did not miss much. Yeah. Anyway, oh, you're working on the seasonal pops families for okay. That's actually quite refreshing because there's most of the pops tend to be in boarding schools away from their own families. I mean, of course, there's the whole exception of, you know, Peyton's long lost brother and the Super Pop series, and of course of course Alia's children in the Disco Pops universe. But for the most part, they tend to ignore the family, so would be nice to explore. Fair enough. As for me, I haven't done much on Techno Pops in quite some time. I made one new extra, but that was it. I haven't progressed any further really. Been working on some other stuff, including the music gold, mind you. You know, I've finally managed to compile like most of episode 4. I'm waiting for one character now, just one, and then the episode 4 portion at the very least can be done and prepared. I don't know about episode 5. That's more complicated because it involves like everyone almost. Anyway, we'll get to that later. Let's watch episode 5. I think Jax is either trying to do voice acting himself right now, or he's left the sound on in the recording and didn't realize before exporting this. I'm hoping it's the first because I want to hear some voice acting for this. Let's see what we get. And also, I'm not reading for all of the characters because that just delays things. I kinda like it, he says. I think. I'm glad you kinda like it. Do you kinda like it? Yes, I indeed kinda like it. Okay, this is one continuous recording. And yes, those are at least Bex and Pat are the default Gacha characters. Jax is the author's self-insert, so he is original. But yes, that was a thing. That was the thing for this. It is not just you. They are very much like, you know, I'm the first to admit that for some of the old Mutant Girl designs did not deviate too much from the presets they were based on, because I just didn't care at that point, particularly for the music video, which I did alone, and then I had people I consulted with for the other designs for the actual series. But it's a whole new level when you get to see just the presets here. That was actually one of my first ever criticisms that I got for Gacha videos, because yeah, in my first 2, I either vaguely transitioned them away, kind of somewhat bitterly, because I was like, why not just use the presets as extras? Who's gonna care about that? And then afterwards, as it turns out, yeah, they did care after that first video I did, and so it was rudimentary. But yeah, that was 2014 when I did that. No, not 2014. What, 2018? Why did I say 2014? That must make me sense. Yeah, it was 2018 when I did that. And this was made, I believe, last year. Let me just, yep, 6 months ago. So yeah, there's really no excuse for that. But yeah, just because I did bring up before in the previous ones. I don't think Emmy's family is a blended family. A blended I mean, I'm sure that's an actual term. I've just never heard of it before. Like a blended family. Like you just, like it's just like, here comes Mama, here comes Papa, here is Auntie, here's the Grandma, and here is me. I know that's not what that means. It's just the image that came to my mind. Anyway, let's actually read the rest of this. She has her bio mum, stepmom, older stepbrother, and younger stepbrother. Sally has her mum, dad, two bicycles, and two adopted siblings. Okay, so while I like the fact that you're including non-nuclear families into your proceedings, that is always nice to see. I am going to caution one thing, and that's if you have too many characters that aren't going to get too much focus, that might like become a drawback for you. I mean, I'm the first to admit I haven't exactly emphasized a lot of the family characters that I could have done in some of my shows, but if you have so many members to focus on that most likely aren't going to come into the plot too much, then that might be a bit of an issue. Just so you know, but that's up to you. But yeah, just as long as you're aware, that can become a thing. Sabrina's going to become an only child, so yeah, at least Sabrina's going to be relatively easy then. And Will's going to be their brother, his wife, and daughter. Okay. All right then. Look forward to seeing how that all turns out. Oh my word. Okay, I'm sorry. Sorry to interrupt this like with something random, but I'm just checking because sometimes people try to like come into these streams after, so I check into Discord to see if I'm like getting messages from like Ghosty or someone saying like, "Can I join?" Or even Jax for that matter, because I was expecting that from Jax. But no, as it turns out, what I have just received on Discord are two articles sent from sent from Maya. One of them is there is author J.K. Rowling donates 1 million sterling to fight Scottish in the. I'm guessing that's going to say. Oh, sorry. Yeah, there's the sub headline comes out because the title obviously doesn't. Yeah, to campaign against Scottish independence, saying that she believes Scotland was better off staying in the United Kingdom. An interesting position when Scotland is the location of Hogwarts. Maybe she wanted to make sure those borders for the Hogwarts Express stay open. If you know what I'm saying. Also, the second one is worse. It says J.K. Rowling calls Scottish nationalists Death Eaters and donates. I mean, that is still concerning, but you gotta admit that's kind of funny that she calls them Death Eaters. Of all the things, it's like if I decided to, campaign against a political movement that I don't like, and I call them a bunch of pop Josephines or something. Like, you're not going to take me seriously if I do that, no matter how much I donate. Good grief, that was. I'm gonna have to actually read those later. For now, let's continue. Blended family, because that's been discussing of a couple and their children from this and all previous relationships. Okay. Again, fair enough. It's just, again, the image. I might be in a silly mood after the day I've had, honestly. Oh, before we move on entirely, I will have to point out that, that whole thing, like, being left... That image, like, on the studio mode being left in, kind of an oopsie there. I know that I've done that in the Mutant Girl sometimes before, but in the Mutant Girl, that's usually synced up to like actual audio where I can't like clip it out if I see it in the video. But if it's screenshots, you can just as easily trim that out of the edit on YouTube because YouTube editor can allow you to do that. So yes, doesn't get a pass, unfortunately. And who also doesn't get a pass is this girl who seems to also be a giant and has just lifted Jax with no build up whatsoever. She's just like, oh hey, I'm a character now. Yoink. Okay, sure, why not? Except for the fact that now in the Kidnapped by Giants prequel that we saw, we know that Bex and Pat, who, by the way, Gacha Spring Boy Pat used to be Nat and used to have a different design, but then ended up experimenting on himself and become the default, which is probably worse. I should point that out too. But in that scenario, so Bex and then the newly made Pat immediately go out and get themselves turned into giants for an experiment, meaning that giants are not actually a common thing in this universe, as I was led to believe originally. And yet, We've also had senpai buns appear in a previous episode. Yes, the preset senpai buns, and now this cheerleader-looking girl, who I guess giants are still common, or that person doing experiments is still at large, even though I'm pretty sure that the lab burnt down after that. I am so confused. Maybe she was made into a giant before? What is even happening? Okay. I've got more Discord messages. Oh, it's Quasi reacting to the whole like Scottish Death Eaters thing. Good grief. And yes, Jax has absolutely forgotten to turn off the sound in this recording because you can just see people talking in the background. Whoops. And also him breathing really loudly. Okay. Wait, hold on a second. That's actually get that. Okay, that raises even more questions. I'm not even positive what's happening right now. I'm listening to the audio. So the audio is not like clipped up, which suggests that this was just screen recorded in the moment, and it wasn't past. Like you would have thought it wouldn't have gone past the editor or the editing stage, but yet the KineMaster logo was there, so it must have been recorded and then put into KineMaster. But the audio is not trimmed up, which is it's one consistent thing, which implies that it was lined up as like a slideshow or something, and then screen recorded over it, I mean, which means, okay, which means that Jack screen recorded this, and then didn't edit it, just put the raw file in and exported it. Unless KineMaster also has a recording function. Because you would think that if he wasn't going to edit this in any sort of usual way, he would just export the main file without the KineMaster logo and just have the logo of whatever thing he had in it. But no. Unless the other thing had a watermark that he didn't want to have. I am so confused about how this was made. It's like The Room. It's more interesting how the movie even came to exist than the actual movie itself, apart from the memes, which obviously are irreplaceable. Okay, so I'm led to assume that she was supposed to have knocked them both out, but in that cut where we don't see what happened, she knocks Bex out first, then knocks Pat out, drags Pat over and lies him right next to Bex, and then leaves, all without us seeing what happened. This character has Hit's time skip ability from Dragon Ball Super, and that's just how it is, I guess. And this is Jax in the pocket, in case I was wondering why he's in a void now. That's what Jax creator does to show that happening. At the Gaint Girl house. And yes, I know I make fun of whenever Jax spells giant as Gaint, but the thing is, at this point, he's done it so many times that you've got to wonder, because like the actual series, like the place that gets it right, but there's another one that's like My Gaint Friends, that's like a full series that has that. It's just like it keeps happening, but he never goes back and corrects it. Speaking of correcting things, I stand corrected myself. This was definitely put into KineMaster because obviously this here you don't have in actual Gacha. Trust me, I know, because my first Gacha video was a slideshow form that I then put into and then timed differently, and I had to actually put the captions on myself. But even so, it's still. But the audio is still going exactly as it was before. Like there's no cuts in this. Wait a minute. Did he export the KineMaster thing and then wait? No, he wouldn't have had to record over it, would he? Did he play the video and then trim, like select trim in the editor instead of exporting it? At this point, I just want to know how this video was made. Like, I really just that's my main question. I mean, apart from who this Pop Josephine is and where she came from, that's that's more of what I'm intrigued about. Okay, so KineMaster has an audio recorder, but you have to hit a start button or to have record audio. Okay. Which first of all means that all the people who said that you can't record audio with, you can't do voice with KineMaster are lying, apparently. But also, again, there's no point recording audio over this video. That's the thing. That's what confuses me, because even if Jax had like pressed screen record over KineMaster, he'd have no reason to, because you can just export it from KineMaster itself. Unless it was it a storage issue? Was it less of a hassle to store like a smaller file if it's just screen recorded versus an exported processed KineMaster file, but it still has the watermark? Is that how that works? But then no, because like it's trimmed in the exact same way as all of his other exports are, because he doesn't fill up the screen with them. The KineMaster logo, like all this like black border area, that's there because the export is wrong. Surely he wouldn't have selected, if he knew how to even screen select in the first place, he wouldn't have selected that entire area either. Good grief, yeah. The one, like, I would say it's the one time I actually really need Jax on here, but yeah, I always have so many questions for him. Yeah, Jax, if you're watching this, please comment exactly how this video was processed and made, because I at this point I just have to know. Oh, her name is Gabrielle. Be quiet, or you are in big trouble. Be very, very quiet. I'm hunting gabbits. Why? He's whispering to himself now. Why did you start when I wasn't ready to restart the stream? First of all, no, I'm not restarting the stream. Second of all, you know that I usually start around this time for streams. And thirdly, even if I did say I was going to do it today, you never asked me what time. Fourthly, it's not dependent on you when I start streams. Fifthly, you don't get to ask me to restart streams. Good lord. Oh, you recognize the preset. Okay, so Gabrielle is also preset. I see. Okay. Right. Can I start at episode 4? Well, no, because there's no substance to episode 4. Like, episode 4 is barely a scene. So no, I'm not going back to it. But I do really want to know, like, I've been asking this whole time, episode 5 just deeply fascinates me because I need to know how it was made. Because, yeah, there's like, I don't want to reiterate this too much, because people who are watching this on the VOD and like, I just gonna say like, oh yeah, just move on by this point. But just quickly to go over it one more time, the sound recording is consistent. There's like no trims in between them, which means that you must have recorded that screen recorded it over, and like just forgot to take out the sound. But then also there's like edited captions and like time cards that are only present in KineMaster itself and not in Gacha, which means you can't use the slideshow format. That's why I'm so intrigued about that. I mean, the secondary question, the thing I should be asking is, who this character is. How did she also become a giant if the scientist, castle burned down? Was it before or after? how long has this whole giant thing been going on? How has the scientist been doing this for that matter? How many more giants are there? Where does senpai buns come from? There's a lot that I could be asking, but yeah, I don't care about that right now. How'd you make this video? Please. Did I just hear Taco Tuesday in the background? Someone said Taco Tuesday. Oh, and now I can't read the audio. Okay, though. Okay, I will. Good. Very good. What your name? My name is Jax, and I have better grammar than you, so ha. My name is Gabrielle. Jax is like, I don't care, give me my freedom, please. I wonder who is knocking at the door. And now you're increasing the volume on the device you have, like on the iPad or something, or your phone. Why are you increasing the volume? There's no sound coming out. Was there meant to be music over this? Is that why there's a whole sound file that just record yourself like outside instead of like the actual music coming through? My goodness, there's so much here that just oh okay. Okay. Also, Ghost just sent me an image of what the preset Gabrielle looked like originally, which does help, granted, because it does mean that Jax, sorry, didn't mean to loop you into that one, Josh. It does mean that Jax has indeed edited this preset and designed her a little bit differently, but she's still called Gabrielle, and still looks like that. So, and I was indeed correct that she is in fact a cheerleader. Okay, all right then. I know it's you. I mean, we followed you home, so I wouldn't assume you would have changed a different person. But yeah. Does she think playing possum is going to get her out of opening the door? Just don't open the door. Oh wait, no, she fell over. She said, "Ouch." She was hit by the whirlwind of Bex's voice. The sound wave just smacked her in the face. Okay, Jax, what do you want to say about episode 4? What is there to say about episode 4 that I haven't said already? Well, I mean, you don't even know what I said already, but what is there to even discuss about episode 4? It's 48 seconds long. Jax has a nightmare out of nowhere, and there's like no substance there to go over again. So no, I'm not going back to it. It's not worth it. But I am with your character here saying, what the? Jax, there you are. Come on, let's get out of here. Oh, no, they're gonna start a tug of war with a human. He is mine. I found him first. He is mine. Every time I see this, I think of, like, you know, doing a King Solomon homage, but yeah, that's not gonna bode well for Jax. And Ghost Kitty, you just sent me senpai buns. I know what senpai buns looked like before. I remember my intro to actual Gacha itself and how the tour was done by senpai buns, so I'm aware. Oh my! We both dropped and we had a soft landing. Oh dear! The worst fate that could have possibly happened. Oh wait, was he not like on the sofa? He was like in midair still. Okay, I stopped it too soon. Okay. Oh no! Is he okay? Probably not. I imagine it's so he's broken something. And I can't read that. Hang on. He's still breathing, but he is not. Oh, yeah, he is still breathing, but he's not waking up. We gotta take him to the hospital. At least, at least now they seem actually concerned. Like any of them. You know what? Yeah, Jax. If you want to join and like actually like, because if that will involve you actually answering my questions, then by all means you can join. I will just again. I hope I haven't set up the pad link by accident, but yeah, here you go. Let's where are you? There you are. Found you. Okay, there we go. The temptation. Yeah, you always say that. You always say that. Again, they're just presets though. Like it's not worth it. It's not worth the time it would take to remake them in your style. You go ahead and focus on those families you got. Okay, let's get going. Okay, Jax seems to have. Wait, hold on. Jax, it says no video feed over on your side. Okay, there we go. Okay, fixed. There we go. All right, so Jax has arrived. All right. So, the main question that I have. Actually, let's finish the episode first, then I'll ask you. Well, that was easy. Okay. The main question I had is how was that video made? The only question is go back to episode 4. That's not a question. That was not a question for me. I mean, you answering my questions. The question, and also if you're just going to be talking in private chat and answering me in private chat, what's even the point of you joining this call? You were already in. You were already in the stream. Like if we're gonna have the voice conversation, then why bother? I get that. So yeah, again, how was this video made? Please tell us with voice how this was created. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yes. I can't hear anything. My mic got a bit glitchy just now. I'm all I'm doing is asking Jax to speak. You know, be involved and actually respond. You'll hit speak button if I go back to episode 4. Okay, look, what is it you want to say about episode 4? Because you clearly want to go back. What is it that you want to say that has not been covered that you think I might have missed about that episode? Is there any like fun trivia or something or behind the scenes notes that I should be aware of about episode 4? Someone play that cricket sound. Yeah, I don't I don't have it unfortunately. Yeah, I haven't used my soundboard in like months. So yeah, I can't do that, but you're right. I should have something there. Or just some like elevator music. What can I put in here that's like elevator music while he's not talking? Lounge. Tell me about episode 4, Jax. Tell me about episode 4. Tell me why I should watch it once more. Tell me if there's anything at all. Otherwise, I'm gonna fall. I don't know. Tell me if there's. You will speak episode 4. You're lucky I've wasted enough people's time anyway. Alright, let's see. Where is it? Wait, this isn't it. Wrong video. Hold on. Okay, here we go. So we're on episode 4 again. Go ahead and tell us what we should be looking out for, because I've already watched this, so I'm just gonna let it play, and you go ahead and say what you want to say.
Thank you.
Carry on. Right, well, I just wasted everyone's time by backtracking. So what was that about? What did I need to know? What did I need to?
Huh?
Are you going to say anything at all about it? Like I just played it a second time. So go ahead. What was I? What else do you want me to say about it?
What your question was?
My question wasn't about episode 4. My question was how was episode 5 made? It had nothing to do with it. You're the one who wanted to go back and watch episode 4, so I thought you had something to say about it. What was there?
Just saying, it's just going back to episode 4.
Why? Why do you want me to go back to episode 4 if I've already seen it?
Because there's questions.
What do you mean there's questions? You just said you asked me if I had any questions. You said the only question is go back to episode 4. It was even a question in the first place. It's an instruction. So what questions did you have?
I know that.
So then I repeat, why did you want me to go back to episode 4? You said there's questions. What are the questions?
So you do remember, like, back when we reacted to that reboot series, and then from episode 3, you were dreaming and thought it was real?
So you're saying that episode 3 was a dream the whole time? And the episode 4
it was just a dream. It never happened in real life.
Oh yeah, because the whole premise of people being enlarged by scientists that blow up labs and then go ahead and just
Senpai
randomly
Buns
snatch
was
a human.
real. It's just when they went back home, they took a nap, and then.
And why couldn't you have said that without me scrolling back through the video again and wasting everyone's time? I mean, you did. I mean, you talked about episode 3 just now without me having to download that video for a second time and then go through that again just for you to mention it. So clearly, you're able to talk about episodes that we're not covering, or that have already been covered. And off he goes. Fantastic. Well, I apologize for wasting everyone's time here. Okay, let's go ahead to episode 6. Yeah, there we go. Yes, as I was saying, yep, Josh, you've confirmed my thoughts exactly. Oh, also, if you asked this question before, what is a soundboard? A soundboard is like one of these things. Well, it's like, well, this one is really an audio interface, but yeah, but a soundboard in general would be like something that you can actually press buttons on, and they make different sounds that you can actually sometimes pre-record, or they come with the set or anything. It's used a lot in music, but also for like particular sound effects. If you remember back in the day when I had like that applause and I had like that intro, it's because this headset mic is not hooked up to it. So that's why I stopped using it. It's not because I didn't like it anymore. Yeah, we all noticed you left. Like, we saw you leave. You don't need to announce that you'll leave. Well, again, there's so many things you didn't need to do, but there you go. Episode 6. I guess we'll never find out how episode 5 was made, which is again was my actual question. That will remain a mystery of the universe. Okay, moving on then. Episode 6. Jax goes to the hospital. Wait, there's a giant hospital now? Okay, I instantly have more questions again. How is there a giant hospital if the giants are all created by a scientist? Like, is this just happen to be like the one giant that was made that became a medical professional? You know, I dare say that whatever that prequel was supposed to be almost inevitably like retconned everything that was in this show. And because I was asked to watch it first, now I have like several other things that I just can't that just don't make sense anymore. But they must have at the time. Like, imagine if there was like the implication in the early Giant season was like that there was a whole giant society. Okay, he's back. All right, maybe he'll clarify this. All right, so giant societies and stuff. That prequel where we saw them all created, like how so if Bex and Pat and Senpai Buns and now Gabrielle were the only giants, like how are there like hospitals dedicated to them if there was only one scientist making? Because that's what it said in the prequel. Well, I think I can hear him typing. I'm not sure. Yep, yes, I can hear him typing. There we go. Yes. Okay, you're back. Fantastic. Now please like answer the question. Nothing? For the love of... Okay, I'm just not letting him back in. That's it, he's gone now. I don't care anymore. That's something drop Jackson will give... Hold on, I didn't read the line. We'll give you 100 if you save him. So I guess giants like that humans are like subject to bribery in order to like cure humans. Well, if the I mean, also this is a nurse. Surely this is a nurse's outfit as well. Like how, because if you have to bribe nurses to save humans in a giant hospital, just take Jax to a human hospital, which we know exists because there are more humans in this world than giants, supposedly. So there's got to be human hospitals too. Yeah. You keep leaving without responding to me at all. So I'm just gonna let you back in. That's it. I'm done. I'm done. Like trying to ask you one simple thing, and then like especially like clarification for your own story, which you wrote and you have the answers for, and then you just saying nothing at all apart from "I'm back." So yeah, no, you're not coming back in. Okay, that's it. I'm taking a page from Emily's book and talking about these designs. So we've seen how to alter priest designs like Gabriella and Senpai Bansuken, but to alter Nurse. Oh wait, Nurse is also a pri. I see. I should have guessed that. I should have known that that was going to be a thing. Oh right, yeah, Lux design. Yes, I see. Okay. Well, yeah, I again, if I had to guess, I would say that the idea to alter designs came about later, and I guess Jack just forgot to alter the nurse, or didn't think that she was worth altering at all, really, because just the nurse character is an extra again. And while I understand that using presets as extras myself, these are all the main characters and the entire giant species. So it's not quite the same. Okay, we will do anything for this little guy. Yeah, bribery gets you everywhere in this universe, apparently. Poor thing. Back at Jack's real house. Oh, we actually get to see someone's actually concerned about him. Oh wait, I forgot his mum is also a preset. Okay. Was that Jax on the news? I also realized that even though this would be fixed in later Giants series by Jax, so I'm not going to harp on it too much. But the issue here, of course, is the fact that this is a normal-sized woman inside of a house with giant-sized furniture. Look at that sofa, look at that carpet, even the plants for that matter. Because it's her house, it would be like human dimension, surely. So that's the thing that you get to see with the future ones, because that's when Jax will actually play around with a few of the designs and stuff. But I guess that wasn't a thing that came up here. Oh, and also I got to actually read what it says. That's it. I'm gonna save Jax in Gate City. You're going to save Jax in Gateness City. So again, I guess that would be Giantness City. Right. So okay. To answer this question, yes, I would like to know why there's a giant doctor, or nurse rather, because that's a nurse's outfit. But also, I want to know why there's an entire city of giants when we've established in the prequel that, oh wait a minute, I think I've realized why. Giants themselves must have existed in this world beforehand, but in actuality, they but then the scientist actually reverse engineered like what made them giants and then inject that into humans, and that was the experiment, not just putting people into the first giants, but actually making them giants in the first place. If that is the answer, I'm not saying it is, but if that is the answer, that could explain away almost everything. I say almost because in the first episode we're told that giants can't reveal their existence to humans, but yet there's an entire city called Giantness City or Gateness City that is fully in the public conscience because Jax's mum knows about it and is able to reference that that is indeed where giants live, in Giantness City. So people already know there are giants, which means that the entire point of kidnapping Jax the inciting incident for the entire show is completely and utterly meaningless. So yeah, the, I must say, with a lot of these shows, they tend to they tend to improve as they go along, and the story tends to, at least even if the story doesn't improve like its madness or something, like the whole, like as a whole, either the production will go up or the story will like actually just like gain identity, like decide more of what it wants to be, because that's just how it goes. Sometimes you don't have like a clear idea in mind when you have the pilot episode, and then you sort of figure out the show as you go along. That happens a lot. In this one, it almost seems like it goes to the extent of like there is just that it's unraveling. It's unraveling itself the more that it continues. And this is, again, that's why I said in the previous stream, this is why we have a script. Like that too. But aside from that, it's also just of like, even stuff that is like flavor of the week at least harkens back to like a basic principle. That's why a lot of shows will have like show bibles or something that will like will give people like the actual, if they have a team of multiple writers involved, for example, they'll have a clear guideline as to do's and don'ts. This is a show made by one person, and it seems to not be able to maintain its consistency from one episode to the next. And also, Jax has asked me both in private and in the Discord if he wants to know why there's a giant doctor. And yes, I would like to know. That is why I asked you. So go ahead and please don't ask if I want to know the answer. Just give the answer, because the answer to the answer is yes. So again, I can hear rustling sounds. That means this is also the weird screen recorded version or something. Like that seems to be what's going on. I don't know. "40 minutes away from home to the Gaintness City Hospital. Let's do it. Yeah, let's do it. Let's rescue my son from certain death. What a great adventure. Come on, vámonos. Everybody, let's go." Oh, wait, no, that's the same. Yeah. Back at the hospital. So now she's called Nurse Luck, so we know. Where am I? Welcome to Gaintness. Well, I guess you were already in there. You're already in that city to begin with, because that's where all the giants live, even though Pat and Bex also had a house before that, but they just went to that other one on the same day that they kidnapped Jax. And yeah, again, it unravels itself. Like, you try and add a prequel to it, and then it just becomes even more insane. Ah, another giant another Gaint stranger. Help, help, help. Again, he's having a normal reaction to the giants now, because I guess from all of his bad experiences, I guess now he finally caught on that giants are indeed dangerous. Yes. At least for my giants, they have a reason to get out the main character, because thought she was signed to turn them into giants. Okay. A unique concept, fair enough. That does seem like the kind of thing that would be clarified in like a single sentence, so be careful with that, because those kind of stories usually are the ones that get the most like, that they get the most like flack for being what they are. If you're going to talk about the whole thing, then why is it a conflict? Calm. It's just Nurse Luck. It's just Nurse Luck, a person that you don't know. Great. That will calm you down. Oh, but why am I at the hospital? This is called the fact it's in a hospital. Okay. Let Jax in. I want to know the questions. Agree with me. Jax, have you got another alt account? Oh no, it's Rico. Okay. Well, okay. So here's the thing. I don't need to let Jax in to tell me the answer. He's perfectly capable of communicating in 3 different places. If he wants to tell me the answer, he's just choosing not to. Like if he wants to come back into voice call to say nothing at all and provide nothing at all except for stating that he's back multiple times, and that's the only way that he's going to answer any questions, I'm not giving the satisfaction. I don't cave into that. I don't. Why should I? Like, no one's any better off by doing that, especially not you guys, the audience. Because Bex and Gabriella accidentally dropped you. I'm getting hungry. That's it. It's like, wait, they dropped me? Oh, yeah, they dropped me. Nothing like that. So, it's just... That's his only question. It's like when in The Guardians, when Mizuki wakes up, and then like the first thing that she asks about is like, well, first, yeah, where she is, but the second thing is, can I go for a walk? And then decides to go for a walk. I still very vividly remember that. Okay, I will go get food. You can have crumbs like in the B movie. Guys, I have good news. What is it? I guess they all say that at the same time. Jax woke up and he is alive and he is hungry. All of those things are of equal importance. Yay! They'll just sit calmly and go, yay! Okay, I got to go and get him food. Okay, it's getting creepy that they're all talking at once now. Have they all been assimilated by a hive mind in the meantime? Yes, I'm finally here. Now let's stop wasting time. You're in a Jax video, good luck with that. Now let's go inside and safe Jax, my best. Your best what? Your best child? I've heard people say they have a favorite child. I never heard them say they have a best child. Here is my best child, Jax. Oh my word. Why on earth did Jax block Josh? That doesn't make any sense. If anything, if he's gonna block anyone, should block me, surely. Because I'm the one that he gets annoyed at. Let's see what all that Josh did was agree with me. Which, by the way, thank you for that, Josh. Just saying. In fact, also Ghost Kitty also agreed with me. In fact, I didn't read this out before. I was going to, but I didn't get to this. Oh, wait, no, it wasn't Ghost Kitty. It was actually Josh as well. He just shows up and does not tell you anything. This Johnny and Eli tell you stuff and not be quiet about it. Yeah, and even if Johnny and Eli can't join the call because of time constraints and or they just happen to be out and about or something, then at the very least they'll still talk in chat and still answer questions in the chat, and we have a good exchange in there, and we build upon what's going on. Whereas Jax will just come into the call and just sit there. So yeah, he's gone. Oh, by the way, as soon as I was able to give the satisfaction, as soon as he knew it was a lost cause, he left the back rooms, and he hasn't come back since. So I think he knows by now that I don't play around. I'm not going to be messed with like that. Anyway, go ahead and save your best child. Oh, or don't. Okay, I guess that's next episode. All right then. One thing I've noticed as well is the fact that all those, like, they say part 7 as in like there will be a part 7, but it's almost like part 7 starts there almost. I don't know. Okay, he didn't block Josh. Okay, I was gonna say, of all people to block, Josh is probably the last person. He barely has any social media. There's no point. What? What's that gonna do? Um, yeah, I know. It's one of the things. Like, I mean, it's not wrong to do that necessarily. It's just, I guess, it's like the same thing of as putting like to be continued at the end of like a Pokemon episode or something. Which, yeah, fair enough. But he did try and comment. What? Well, I certainly haven't blocked him. Maybe one of my mods did. Maybe one of my mods is here somewhere. BB Shorty, are you on? Are you around? I don't know. Okay, so I guess thoughts on episodes 5 and 6, because episode 4 can go plop itself in a volcano. We've talked about it enough. So, oh wait, try and comment on Jax's videos. I see. Okay. Well, then, I can't really say much there. That's just if he wants to block people from based on YouTube comments, then I guess that's on him. Wouldn't be the most far-fetched and ridiculous thing he did today. Okay. Okay, so episode 5 introduces another character who kidnaps Jax for no reason. So basically ends up being a repetition of Bex and Pat. Except while Bex and Pat were established then in a prequel, Gabrielle just isn't. In fact, she doesn't even have a reason that she justifies for kidnapping Jax. She just does it and says, "Oh, you're going to be in trouble otherwise." Which does make me think that humans in this world are just like collector's items to some giants, which I guess explains why they know about Gaintness City. Okay, so you can still comment on. I don't know what Rico's talking about here, honestly. So apparently nothing has happened. So Jax hasn't done anything. Okay, fair enough. Good to clarify. Back to this. Yeah. Oh, there you go. Another thing. In my opinion, the plot went through one ear and other ear. All I know is that Jax got hurt and ended up in hospital. Yes, because the plot was Jax gets kidnapped for a second time. His original kidnappers go back to get him, and then they end up dropping him on the ground. Honestly, the first thing they did that makes sense in this series is take him to a hospital, but not a human hospital, because that would make too much sense. I guess maybe in hindsight, maybe depending on like how the politics of giants work, and how Gateness City exists, you could say maybe they couldn't, as giants themselves, they couldn't just saunter into a human hospital. And that's why I had to bribe a nurse in order to actually go there. Maybe. I came to that conclusion several minutes after watching this episode, and I was like, I could have just asked the creator, and he could have told me. So there is that. I've said this before, but I think the most interesting part of any Giants roleplay that I've seen, whether it's this one or My Tiny Human from Gacha Shipper and all that stuff, my favorite part of all of them is just what's like is the world building. Because a world with giants and humans existing, sometimes coexisting, sometimes not, there's a lot of possibility. There's like how that even came about, how they function together and everything. But it just seems like the interesting stuff about the world in question is just happening in the background somewhere. We don't get any of it. And the stuff that we do get ends up being retconned or unravels as soon as you dissect it. So yeah, on a story level, that more stuff is being added here. It's just, I think what's happening here is that Jax understands the principle of adding to your own world and introducing more ideas and keeping the idea evolving and building on what you've got. But it's like trying to build on a foundation that you can't fully see, or trying to build a foundation for trying to have a different like construction set, and then I don't know, I'm trying to think. Okay, it's as if the building is made out of Lego and the foundation is bionicle. There we go. that's the that's the best I can do there. So of course, if you don't have those two things that actually match, and the ideas don't work well off each other, then everything falls apart. That's why you got to understand your own world if you want others to do so. And based on the fact that he's avoided all of my questions, I'm not sure that Jax understands his own world that he himself has created. So that is definitely like thing number one to work on, like as a writer, not even as a gacha, but it's like as a writer, as a creator of stories, understand your own world, or everyone else just has zero hope of ever doing so. That also applies to episode 6, which was, for all intents and purposes, better. It shows them making a rational decision, taking him to a hospital. It took me a while to justify it, but still, so be it. Nurse Luck is actually being a helpful giant for once. It seems that someone actually knows. Then again, she has been bribed. So who knows? Again, the culture and the motivations of the giants is also a thing to be interested in. Like the characters, that's the foundation for me of the stories, is the world they inhabit and the characters that are in them, especially the characters. So yeah, episode 6 was better, but still not great. So that's that. So rather morbid conclusion, considering that this was meant to be like the stream that was supposed to, lift people up from the previous one. I guess I shouldn't have chosen one of the Gacha shippers' biggest fans in order to actually make a difference there. But obviously, as much as this just seems very bland in its construction, it's still, there's nothing like offensive problematic in here. So I mean, I will say the Gacha shipper has at least generated one person who is able to take out all the aspects that would present an issue. But then it's not replaced with it. Then replaced it with a whole host of other issues which are less traumatizing, but still very much present. My tip: get Google Docs and write out your story and the backstory. Yeah, do that. Or yeah, what I do when I tend to start stories, I first of all start with the characters, because usually, for me at least, I have an idea in my head of like what I want the world to be like before I start writing it. For some people, maybe you want to outline that a bit more first. For me at least, I start with the characters that I already thought like how they could live in that world, and then I write a little bit about them. Sometimes a brief description goes a long way. I don't mean of like their visuals or anything. In fact, most of the time I don't design them myself. I just give people the character descriptions and then they make the visuals themselves. So yeah, I do that first, and then I just go for it. I can outline a bit of a first episode, or I can try and start and see like what dynamics I can actually develop with those characters in that first experimental one. And that seems like it's not planning, but remember, I have the entire first episode to then go back to from about the second one, and then the third one, and then for all of the subsequent ones, I have the descriptions there, I have the basis for what I was going for, and I have the memory, and I have the world. And just like that, we're off to the races. So yeah, invest in Google Docs, everyone. It saves you from a lot of heartache in the future, I assure you. So yeah, that was it. Thanks everyone for watching. Please leave a like or dislike because your opinion matters. Subscribe to us already, and also check out the original playlist. There'll be a link in the description to the episode. Actually, wait a minute. I linked episode 4 in the description because I want to start people off on the playlist at this point that I originate from, and then you can go down for the rest of them. So he got so mad he deleted part 5 and 6. Oh my word. That's actually even worse. That's actually no way. Hold on a second. I'm refreshing the page. Wait, yeah. I have the playlist pulled up. Yeah, video unavailable is private. Okay. So he's at least put them to private. He hasn't like removed them entirely. Okay, Ghost Kitty also says check DMs. What's going on? Oh, it's redesigned senpai buns, never mind. Sorry, I heard voices now just because of the next part. Okay. That's almost worse because now someone who's going to watch your series and is missing out like those parts, like is not going to know then who Nurse Luck is, why Jack's in a hospital later, why his mum is going to rescue him there. They'll have even more questions because now you've not only do you have everything that's been there before, but you've also like taken away a lot of like you've removed the answers people might actually want. So like that's yeah. Why private your own parts of your series? Yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing. Because remember what I said, like this is one of the reasons I respect Prisoner of Voices so much, because despite the sheer embarrassment for the earlier seasons, Prism still checked in with all the reviews and still still, you know, mentioned quite a few things that either I missed out on or that, you know, they themselves were not satisfied with, and then actually possibly waited a while because there was like a huge year gap between the episodes, and continued the series and kept it going. And if anything, you could almost say that I did the same thing with the Mutant Girl, but more an editing side of things, more on a production side. So wait, if this is what's going to happen, pretty much the old ones is going to be unlisted or private. Kind of seems pointless you asking me to review the show then. Like, okay. I mean, I know that I decided to surprise you, essentially, review the first few episodes. But yeah, again, see, people asking the same question as me. Yeah, that's that. But what I'm trying to get at here is, even if you make mistakes and the stuff that you make doesn't represent your ability, like where you are now, you still have it to reflect on. You still learned something from it, and if you're continuing the series, which you do seem to be, then this stuff is worth addressing, because I mean, considering how far along, how many episodes of Kidnapped by Giants are there? Sorry, there's 29 videos in total. There's a Christmas special. There's the remakes, Pat and Bex's backstory. There's like a bonus part, so there's like 23. There's 23 episodes of Kidnapped by Giants. Like, if like I highly doubt that you want to like continue like making this like unraveling it and then having the same issues pop up for a second time. But then again, if you are going to remake your own show, whatever, if that's the decision you want to make after this, then you know I can't exactly stop you or anything. But if you are going to do just the reboots, consider what I said. Consider stuff about the world building. Consider how the Giants even came to be in the first place. Consider like the consequence of like everything that goes on, and consider like what reasoning there is for anything to happen. That's the essential thing. And yeah, I'm including the sequel series in the 23 because the place you've got has both of them in there. Oh, and yeah, the origin story, the whole prequel thing. Hold on, I've been talking for ages. I have a drink of water. I'll have a a swig of blended family for a second. Okay. Yeah. I guess we could talk about that a little bit, because I did mention this at the time, that the Origins video is sort of what messed up a lot of stuff in here. Not everything, but a lot of the stuff that came about because of how the origin was laid out for Pat and Bex. That's where it came from. And it could easily be fixed. You could easily say that the scientist was making more giants and not the sole person responsible for the giants that only exist there. That could be a solution. But then again, you've also now got the issue in here that we've just highlighted in this case of making what was I gonna say? Of having nope. I've lost it now. Oh yeah, of no, dang it! I keep trying to psych myself up that from what I said. Okay, it's of the reveal of like giants existing, like the fact that we know there's a city, despite the whole premise being that Pat and Bex kidnapped Jax because they want Jax exposing the secret of the giants to the world, but they've just appeared on the news and everything, and there's a whole city called Giantness City or Gateness City again. Like that stuff, if we didn't point it out, it would have probably appeared in the reboot again. So I guess at the very least, maybe keep the episodes up for now, and once I'm done reviewing the series, maybe then go back and continue. Like, by all means, like keep making the reboot, because we're a few episodes ahead in that time in terms of the reviews. But yeah, keep the originals for now, and then maybe once everything is done, then if you want to get rid of them, so be it. I wouldn't personally, but that's up to you. So yeah, and then you can have your satisfied version of the story, with hopefully that makes a little bit more sense and has a little bit more of a structure to it that you can be more proud of when you look back at it, in some years to come. So yeah, that Code Purple killed your brain, but I think this is killing your brain. Yeah, see, that's the thing. Code Purple is a great thing to try and like not aspire to be like, because Code Purple has a remastered series that probably has the same amount of problems as it does with the original, meaning that the person essentially didn't learn anything from before. And that remastered thing started way before I first reviewed it, so I was able to help. And I want to help. I want to understand. That's why I ask these questions. I want to understand about everything. But yeah. So if you still want me to look at these, because you seem so enthusiastic to look at them before, for me to review them before now, if you still want me to, then keep them up for now, and then decide after I have finished with the show. If not, then I guess stuff gets deleted or whatever. Okay. I don't even know anymore. Okay, I've said my piece. Please leave a like or dislike, because your opinion matters, and subscribe if you've not done so already. And again, check out, I guess, whatever remaining parts of the series there are for now, before it is too late, from Jax's channel. And like and subscribe if you are to him, if you are so inclined. And you feel like you're reviewing this too? I mean, yeah, you could be. Why the heck not? But yeah, so on that note, until next time, farewell.